Hi, my name is Shez, and you are watching Project Food Garden. We are in the first week of Jan, which means that all these plants that we had transplanted in the first week of November, they're pretty much at 8 weeks of age. So, unlike last year, we thought that this year we would do a review for each variety for you to review and see if it would help you to grow these varieties in your gardens as well. So, the first one that we are doing today is this one, which we call Black Prince. So, let's go and quickly show you how Black Prince is doing. So, in this series of doing reviews of different varieties that I'm doing in the garden, the first one that I've picked today is the Black Prince. It's an heirloom variety. It's basically native to Siberia. And why did I chose it? It's not only because of the name, but because of the fact that I wanted to do more blackened variety. And this was like second or third on the list that I'm doing in this year. Normally, tomato plants, which are of different variety, they prefer sun, like Russian black rim and Mexican zapotac and moneymaker and Italian Roma. But because this one originates from Siberia, so it doesn't mind if the temperature gets a little cooler when things do get up and down as far as the temperature is concerned. So the ability for this plant to survive is so much better as compared with other varieties. So while I was doing my research, I've come across some interesting facts on which I'm going to shed light and give my take on them. It's been said that if you want a flavorful tomato, this variety would be hard to beat. Now, from last year, what I've learned is that Russian black rim to date, in my dictionary, is the number one tasting tomato. So, as you can see, the plant is producing fruit. It's producing lots of blossoms. So, when it would come to a point, we would definitely do a taste review as well. So another reason for me to doing lots of heirloom variety this year is the fact that these are heirloom for a reason. I mean, as far as the hybrids are concerned, you have to take a lot of care of those plants. You have to, work really hard with them. On the contrary, growing heirloom variety is very, very easy. If I could show you the other plants of Black Prince, you can see the fruiting cycle has already begun, even at the age of, how do I say this, 8 weeks. It's a little less than 8 weeks, but the fruiting that it is doing, let me try and get closer shots for you. The clusters that the plant is developing, they are really impressive, and I'm really chuffed with the amount of fruit I will be getting from these 4 plants. So let's move on. So when I was looking on the YouTube to see if there are a lot of people who have grown black prince, I've not come across a lot of people who are doing this because it's considered quite rare and hard to find tomato. So I really wanted to get my hands on the seed, because once you get your hands on the seed for this variety, and you can save the seed, and the next year when you do it, it's even better. So I know that it's kind of difficult to get your hands on the seeding or the seed for this variety, but once you do, like I'm getting loads of fruit on this, so what I'll do is, like I always do, I would save the seed, so the crop that I would have next year would even have more consistent quality and flavor. So things to watch out for when you're growing this. I mean, the idea for us to do this review is to give you an overview that if you want to grow this, what exactly do you need to do? So this obviously is heirloom indeterminate variety. So let me take a few steps back and show you the kind of stake that I've installed. You might be thinking that I'm a bit overly optimistic about how much it would grow, but if you look at the stake right now, this is like a good 10-foot stake, right? And in the first 8 weeks, it has already covered almost 4 foot. So they normally, the point that I was trying to make is that they would gain height really exponentially once they would start to grow. I probably would have to put another stake on this side. So I'm going to, all the 4, 5, or 6 trunks that I'm doing, it would give ample opportunity to the plant to develop and groom. The more support you would give to the plant, the more fruit it would bear. And the more fruit it would bear, the more production you will have. But at the same time, you have to ensure that tomato plants are heavy feeders. So you have to keep up with the nutritional needs of the plant as well. So unlike other varieties, the hybrid varieties that you do, this, I've said it before, they would grow exponentially. So you would have to ensure that you're providing ample support. At the same time, you're going to have to constantly look out for the leaves. I mean, in my experience, um, the heirloom variety is so much hardier, rather hardy as compared to the hybrid ones. They are very, very resistant to normal tomato plant diseases. If you are feeding them well, if you're taking care of them, and if you're pruning, like all other varieties, you just have to look out for the brown leaves and early blight. And you can see I've got wood shavings on in the patch, and the blossom that it is developing, it looks really good. Let me try and show you other side of the blossom as well to see. There you go. It's creating beautiful blossoms. See, it's creating beautiful clusters of about 7 to 9 tomatoes, and the conversion of the fruit is already happening as well. So there is no rocket science attached to this variety as well. So you can see from this angle, it has grown almost 4 feet in about just 8 week times, and it will grow up to as much as 7 foot at least, I think. So that's pretty much it from the Black Prince side. If you have any further questions, keep dropping your comments, because we will be covering the midlife cycle, and then once the fruit would start maturing, we would show you the ability of this plant to produce, and when the fruit would ripen, we will show you that phase as well. So I hope you've liked the review that we have done for Black Prince. The only consideration that I've come across while reading up on this variety is that the seed is quite hard to find. Now, I believe in preparing well before time. So, how did I manage to procure the seed? I ordered the seed last year, because once the spring is over, what I do is I sit down, I chalk out a plan that what we need to do in the garden next year, and we start researching on the varieties. And this one came up because I wanted to do more blackened varieties. If you have seen my previous episode, so once you would get your hands on the seed, you can always save the seed. And there is the only biggest upside that I see of saving the seed is that when you grow the same tomato next year from the seed that you have saved, the quality of the fruit, but before that, the health of the plant, it is so much better as compared with when you first order the seed and you grow the plant. However, you've seen in the review, this is like 8 week of growths, and the stake that I'm using for it is not less than 8.5 to 10 feet. And as per my knowledge, I think it would live up to its name and it would grow that tall. So, as explained in the preview, I believe in raising the heirloom variety with multiple trunks to get more yield and to see what is the potential of the plant. However, remember, I know I've said that in the review as well, make sure that you are giving ample feed. It's just like raising kids. If you forget one meal, it's all right. But if you forget meal for 1 week for your kid, it would be a disaster. So these plants, tomatoes, they're heavy feeders. Apart from normal hydration, now I'm going to administer potash. I probably would administer trifecta fertilizer, because as you can see in the patch, I've got heaps of plants. So the nutritional need, it elevates because of the rooting system in the same patch. I need to ensure that the nutrition that I'm giving is ample and it's good for all of them. So on that note, we'll bid you goodbye and let us know how you like this review of Black Prince, rest assured when it would get to its full fruiting cycle and when it's maturing the fruit, not only will show you that as well, but at the end of it, we'll do a taste review as well. So hope you like this episode. Drop us your comments. Thank you so much for everybody who's joining the channel. Such a warm welcome to all the new subscribers to the Project Food Garden. Wherever you are, stay safe out there in the pandemic. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon with another episode. Goodbye.